If you're over 40 and you feel tired, softer around the middle, and your workouts feel like they got put on hard mode, you're not imagining it. But here's the twist. Most low T stories online are backwards. Because in a lot of men, testosterone isn't the root cause. It's the check engine light. And today, I'm going to give you the real playbook for men over 40. How to test correctly, what actually moves the needle for energy and muscle, when TRT makes sense, and what's mostly expensive hype. Quick disclaimer, this is education, not medical advice. Use it to have smarter conversations with your clinician, not to self-diagnose from your couch like a part-time endocrinologist. Also, if you like evidence-based longevity content for real life, we ask that you hit like and subscribe. This tells YouTube to stop showing people dancing and start showing them how to stay strong at 70. Now let's build this the right way. Think of testosterone after 40 as a 3-lane highway. Lane 1 is lifestyle, highest return on investment, and lowest risk. Lane 2 is medical optimization, fix the hidden anchors dragging you down. Lane 3 is hormones, TRT or fertility-sparing options, for the right person, with real monitoring. Most guys try to merge directly into Lane 3, from a dead stop, in the rain, with bald tires. Let's not do that. First, what actually changes after 40? Testosterone trends down with age, and free testosterone often drops more because sex hormone-binding globulin, otherwise known as SHBG, tends to rise. But age-related decline is not a diagnosis. Plenty of men have lower numbers and feel great, and plenty have normal numbers and feel awful. So what matters is symptoms plus consistently low labs, tested correctly, not one random blood draw after a terrible night of sleep and a breakfast burrito. Here's the part most people do wrong: testing. If you do this wrong, you can spend years chasing a problem you don't have, or miss one you do. The guideline consistent approach is simple. You need symptoms plus consistently low testosterone on repeat testing. That usually means 2 morning tests on separate days, ideally fasting, when you're not sick and didn't crush a brutal workout the night before. Why morning? Testosterone follows a daily rhythm and is typically highest earlier in the day. And why repeat? Because your body isn't a screenshot, it's a moving video. If total testosterone is borderline, or if SHBG is likely abnormal, common with obesity, aging, thyroid issues, your clinician may look at free testosterone too. And if low testosterone is confirmed, the next step is not start a shot tomorrow. It's why is it low? Because this is where Lane 2 saves you. Low testosterone is often caused, or amplified, by fixable stuff. The big modern accelerators are painfully unsexy: sleep debt, visceral fat, insulin resistance, alcohol, chronic stress, certain medications, and undiagnosed sleep apnea. Translation: your hormones might not be broken, they might be outvoted by your lifestyle. Let's talk symptoms, because this is where men get fooled. The symptoms most tightly linked to true androgen deficiency are things like low libido, fewer spontaneous erections, erectile dysfunction that isn't just situational, infertility, low bone density, and sometimes anemia. But the symptoms that get blamed on low T the most, fatigue, low motivation, brain fog, belly fat, are also caused by sleep apnea, depression, thyroid issues, diabetes, overtraining, undereating, and stress. So if you feel tired and soft, it might be testosterone. Or it might be that you're running your life on caffeine, 6 hours of sleep, and vibes. Now Lane 1, lifestyle, the highest return per unit effort for most men. This is where energy comes back first, and testosterone often follows. Start with sleep, because sleep is a testosterone multiplier. Not a nice to have, but an actual multiplier. If your sleep is short, fragmented, or inconsistent, your hormones live in a perpetual Monday morning. Aim for 7 to 9 hours, consistent wake time, morning light, and a caffeine cutoff that doesn't sabotage bedtime. And if you snore loudly, wake up unrefreshed, or have high blood pressure that won't behave, take sleep apnea seriously. Fixing sleep apnea is not just about testosterone, it's about cardiovascular risk, energy, and long-term brain health. Second, strength training. If you want muscle after 40, you need progressive overload and recovery, not testosterone workouts. 2 to 4 sessions per week is the sweet spot for most busy adults. Pick simple compounds and repeat them long enough to get stronger: squat or leg press, hinge, push, pull, carry. Your goal is not to annihilate yourself. Your goal is to build a body that makes 60 look optional. Third, visceral fat loss. Visceral fat is hormonally loud tissue. It increases inflammation, worsens insulin resistance, and it's strongly associated with lower testosterone. For many men, dropping waist circumference is the most hormonal lifestyle intervention they can do. This is why the bulk forever type strategy in the gym gets weird after 40. At some point, the bulk starts bulking back. Fourth, alcohol and stress. If your evenings are 2 drinks to relax, and your nights are wake up at 3 a.m. and negotiate with your thoughts, don't be shocked when your energy and body composition drift in the wrong direction. Alcohol hits sleep quality, appetite control, and recovery. Stress pushes people into the exact behaviors that lower testosterone: less sleep, more snacking, less training, more sitting. So here's the practical 8-week reset that works for a lot of men. It's not sexy, but it's effective. For 8 weeks, sleep, protect a consistent schedule. Training, lift 3 days a week. Steps, 7,000 to 10,000 most days. Protein, anchor every meal. Alcohol, cut it way down. Then retest your symptoms, and if you're working with a clinician, consider retesting labs. Because you want trend lines, not drama. Now lane 2, medical optimization. This is where you stop guessing. If fatigue is a major symptom, a clinician may look at basics like CBC for anemia, A1C or fasting glucose for blood sugar, thyroid markers, and sometimes nutrient markers depending on history. Also review meds. Opioids, for example, are strongly linked with hypogonadism and sexual symptoms, and this needs clinician guidance, not internet courage. And if your symptoms include low libido, erectile dysfunction, or infertility, don't assume it's just testosterone. Sexual function is deeply vascular and metabolic too. Now lane 3, hormones, TRT and fertility sparing options. This is where we need nuance, not team sports. TRT is generally for men with compatible symptoms and consistently low testosterone confirmed with proper testing, after evaluating contributing causes. When TRT helps, the most reliable early win is usually sexual function in truly low T men. Body composition can improve, and anemia can improve in some men. But here's what TRT is not: it is not a substitute for training. It is not a replacement for sleep. And it is definitely not permission to ignore blood pressure. TRT comes with responsibilities. Monitoring matters. One major safety issue is rising hematocrit, basically your blood gets too thick. Guidance commonly uses a hematocrit around 54% as a threshold to stop therapy and reassess, including checking for hypoxia or sleep apnea. Another huge issue: fertility. Exogenous testosterone can suppress sperm production, sometimes severely. So if you want kids, do not freestyle this. There are clinician-managed options that aim to preserve fertility, but that's a medical conversation, not a comment section protocol. Now let's talk supplements, because this is where wallets go to die. Test boosters are one of the sketchiest categories in the supplement world. The FDA has repeatedly identified dietary supplements, especially for muscle building, weight loss, and sexual enhancement, that contained hidden drug ingredients or steroid-like compounds. So if a bottle promises TRT level results without a prescription, you should assume one of two things. Either it's lying, or it's spicy in a way you do not want. If you want supplements that actually support the mission, energy, training output, and muscle retention, think boring and proven. Creatine monohydrate, adequate protein, and smart caffeine timing. Then, maybe tier options exist, like ashwagandha for stress and sleep support in some people, but these are not magic testosterone switches. And if you use supplements, look for third-party testing like NSF or USP when possible. So what's the real bottom line for men over 40? Testosterone is important, but it's not the only lever, and it's often not the first lever. Most men will get the biggest wins by fixing sleep, building strength, reducing visceral fat, and addressing medical contributors like sleep apnea. Then, and only then, decide with a clinician whether hormone therapy belongs in the plan. If this helped, like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's convinced his only problem is low testosterone, while sleeping 5 hours and living on energy drinks. And in the comments, let us know, which lane are you starting with, sleep, training, or waistline? As always, our longevity compass book is linked in the description if you prefer a full blueprint you can follow without overthinking. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.